There are just over 630 inmates here at the Langata Women's Prison. 63 of them are foreigners, 30 of whom are in for drug-related cases. Of the 3 I'm about to speak to, 2 are in for life.
A woman's cry cuts through the night, ignored behind iron bars. Africa's worst women's prisons are hell on earth. Women, often jailed for small crimes, face overcrowding, hunger, and brutality. These places don't just punish, they destroy.
With the women who were arrested at the No Military Trials protest is a repetition of this. It's the use of sexual assault as a tactic by the state to discourage and scare women away from protest.
This video reveals the most dangerous women's prisons, where hope dies in filth and fear. From Egypt's Alcanata to a horror in Congo, we expose the truth.
She received no reply, and Emma died in September 2015.
Each prison is worse than the last, and number 1 will shock you. Stick around to see the raw reality of these forgotten cells. Number 10. Alcanata Women's Prison, Egypt. In 2014, Safaya, an 18-year-old student, landed in Alcanata Women's Prison north of Cairo after a protest arrest. Her cell, meant for 30 women, held 95, packed so tight they could barely move. Built in the early 1900s on a 30-acre site, this crumbling facility in Cobwe Governorate was designed for 500 but housed 1,100 by 1992, and numbers have only grown. Safa described a 3x4 meter cell where 20 women ate, slept, and washed clothes, with no space to breathe. Toilets were just buckets, and the stench of sewage filled the air. Clean water was scarce, forcing inmates to use contaminated supplies, sparking skin infections and illness. No doctor was on site, not even for gynecological needs. Safa saw women faint from dehydration in the desert heat, with no ventilation or cooling in cells. Food was a handful of rice, often spoiled, leaving many weak and malnourished. Guards enforced strict rules, locking women in cells for days, and some, like Safaya, faced beatings for speaking out. Political prisoners, mixed with others due to overcrowding, risked abuse from inmates, as reported in 2020 by the Egyptian Front for Human Rights. Safa's friend, jailed for activism, said, "It's not prison, it's a grave." Weekly visits, cut to 10 minutes, were the only relief, but guards often blocked them. Safa's story isn't unique. Thousands endure this daily, their cries ignored. Alcanata, nicknamed the Bucket Prison, strips women of dignity in a system that forgets them. But the horrors don't end here. Next we head to Kenya, where a prison's brutal guards make every day a fight for survival. Keep watching to uncover the truth. Number 9. Langata Women's Prison, Kenya. In 2017, Mary, a 22-year-old single mother, was jailed at Langata Women's Prison in Nairobi for brewing illegal alcohol to feed her kids. The prison, built in 1963 on 10 acres near Kibera slum, holds 700 women despite a capacity of 400. Cells designed for 20 pack in 70, leaving no room to lie down. Mary shared a 15-square-meter cell with 69 others, sleeping on a concrete floor, crawling with roaches. Toilets, often broken, forced women to use buckets, and dirty water spread diseases like cholera, reported in a 2019 University of Nairobi study. Food was a small scoop of maize, often moldy, causing widespread hunger and weakness. Guards ruled with fear. Mary witnessed beatings for small infractions, like talking back. A 2022 report by the Kenya Human Rights Commission noted 60% of inmates faced physical abuse from guards. Medical care was nearly non-existent. Women with injuries or illnesses, like Mary's untreated fever, suffered without help. Mental health support was zero, and stress from family separation. 90% of inmates are mothers, per a 2017 Kenya National Bureau of Statistics survey, left many broken. About 90 children under 4 live in the prison's nursery, exposed to the same harsh conditions. Mary's son, only 2, stayed with her, eating the same meager food. Despite some reform efforts, like a 2024 bakery training program funded by the Chandaria Foundation, the daily reality is grim. Mary said, "You survive, but you're not human here. Ever faced fear like this? Comment yes below. Now let's travel to Madagascar, where a prison's chaos will make your skin crawl. Stay tuned for a nightmare you won't believe." Number 8. Antanimora, Women's Prison, Madagascar. In 2013, Lanto, a 30-year-old mother, was locked up in Antanimora prison in Antananarivo for stealing rice to feed her 4 kids. Built in 1960 for 800 inmates, this 15-acre facility held 4,000 by 2019, with 280 women per a Pan-African Medical Journal study. Lanto's cell, meant for 30, crammed in 60, forcing women to sleep in shifts on a filthy floor swarming with rats and lice. One meal daily, 300 grams of boiled cassava, left 38.4% of women undernourished, compared to 26.7% of Madagascar's women, per a 2008 to 2009 survey. Chronic malnutrition killed many, as a 2012 U.S. report noted. Sanitation was a nightmare. Broken toilets meant using corners, and no clean water led to infections like scabies. Only one doctor served the entire prison, leaving illnesses untreated. Lanto saw a pregnant woman collapse, ignored by guards. A 2020 Amnesty report highlighted the risk of diseases like COVID-19 in these unhygienic conditions. Half the women, like Lanto, awaited trial, some for years, due to a slow justice system, per a 2018 U.S. State Department report. Solitary confinement for minor acts like owning a phone cut meals in half, worsening hunger. Guards, armed only with nightsticks, took bribes for better treatment, leaving the poor to suffer. Lanto's kids, cut off by barred visits, grew up without her. Ever felt trapped with no way out? Comment yes below. But Rwanda's next prison holds a darker fate for women scarred by violence. Watch on to uncover their pain. Number 7. Gitarama Prison, Female Wing, Rwanda. In 1995, Aline, a 25-year-old teacher, was arrested for alleged genocide involvement and thrown into Gitarama Prison's female wing in Rwanda's southern province. Built in 1960 for 600 inmates, the prison held 7,477 by 2006, including 218 women and 20 babies, per Amnesty International. Aline's cell, a 10-square-meter space, packed 50 women, forcing them to stand all day on a filthy open-air floor. No toilets existed, just buckets, breeding infections like dysentery. A 1995 report noted 4 deaths daily from disease and suffocation. Food was a watery porridge served once daily, leaving 60% of inmates malnourished, per a 2008 health survey. Medical care was absent. Aline saw a woman die from an untreated wound. The female wing, a small block within the 2-acre prison, housed genocide survivors alongside accused perpetrators, sparking violent clashes. A 1995 Los Angeles Times report described women standing like one organism in the crowded yard, their feet rotting from constant exposure to waste. Many, like Aline, waited years without trial. 26% of Rwanda's prison population was pre-trial in 2006, per International Bridges to Justice. Guards, unarmed per Rwanda's policy, ignored beatings among inmates. Aline, a survivor of assault, got no trauma support, her pain ignored in a system overwhelmed by the 1994 genocide's aftermath. Have you ever felt trapped by injustice? Comment yes below. Efforts like the 2007 Criminon program reduced violence, but Gitarama's female wing remained a place of raw survival. Worse awaits in Algeria, where guards turned prison into a nightmare of abuse. Keep watching to uncover the horror. Number 6. Elharic Women's Prison, Algeria. In 2021, Amira, a 28-year-old journalist, was arrested for criticizing the government and sent to Elharic prison in Algiers. Built in 1915 on a 10-acre site, this prison was meant for 2,000 inmates, but held 4,000 by 2022, per a Jeune Afrique report. Amira's cell, a 16-square-meter space, squeezed in 25 women, mostly activists and petty offenders. Toilets were 1 per 50 inmates, often clogged, forcing women to use buckets. A 2018 account by journalist Abdou Semar described constant light from barred windows, making sleep impossible. Food was a daily bowl of watery lentils, leaving 70% of inmates malnourished, per a 2023 U.S. State Department report. Guards were brutal. Amira saw women beaten for demanding clean water, and a 2022 Algeria Watch report noted guards battering inmates after a protest over a closed prayer space. Medical care was scarce. A 2020 COVID-19 outbreak killed at least 1 prisoner, with no hospital transfers, per the same report. Political prisoners like Amira, 30% of the female wing per a 2019 Nouvelle Obs article, faced solitary confinement in 9-square-meter cells, shared by 3, for months. Coercion by guards was whispered among inmates, though undocumented. Family visits, limited to 15 minutes weekly, were often canceled, crushing morale. Amira said, "It's a place that breaks your soul." Ever felt silenced by fear? Comment yes below. But Uganda's next prison holds thousands in a chaos that's even worse. Watch to see what survival really means. If you're gripped by these prison stories, hit that like button and comment your thoughts below. Your support keeps us uncovering the truth. Stay tuned for more. Number 5. Luzira Women's Prison, Uganda. In 2000, Susan, a 20-year-old seamstress, was jailed in Luzira Women's Prison near Kampala for killing her abusive husband. The prison, built in 1924 on a 276-acre site, was designed for 1,700 inmates but held 8,000 by 2014, including 400 women and 28 children, per a 2014 census. Susan's cell, a 12-square-meter space, packed 60 women, their bodies pressed together on a concrete floor. Buckets served as toilets, and a 2011 Human Rights Watch report noted frequent cholera outbreaks due to dirty water. Food was a daily handful of maize porridge, leaving 65% of inmates malnourished, per a 2015 health survey. Violence was constant. Susan saw guards beat women for requesting medicine, and stronger inmates bullied the weak, stealing their food. A 2014 Penal Reform International study found 38% of Uganda's female prisoners, many at Luzira, faced abuse before jail, worsening their trauma. Medical care was nearly non-existent. Susan's cellmate died from untreated tuberculosis, a disease twice as common in Luzira as in Uganda's general population, per a 2011 report. About 100 children under 4 lived in the prison's nursery, exposed to the same hunger and fear, per a 2018 New Vision article. Susan's daughter, aged 3, grew up behind bars with no schooling. Some hope came from programs like a 2019 legal aid clinic by Makerere University, helping 1,150 women file appeals. But for most, like Susan, it was too late. She said, "This place steals your future." Ever felt trapped by fear? Comment yes below. South Africa's next prison hides a gang-controlled nightmare that's even worse. Stay tuned to see what danger lurks behind its walls. Number 4. Polesmore Prison, Female Section, South Africa. In 2018, Namsa, a 27-year-old shoplifter, entered Pollsmoor Prison's female section in Cape Town's Tokai suburb. Built in 1964 for 4,336 inmates, Pollsmoor held 8,465 by 2015, with 740 women, per the Judicial Inspectorate for Correctional Services. Namsa's cell, a 15-square-meter space, housed 30 women, their mattresses lice-infested, as noted in a 2016 report by Justice Edwin Cameron. Toilets were clogged, and a single sink had only cold water, spreading diseases like tuberculosis, 5 times more common here than in South Africa's general population, per a 2015 Guardian report. Food was a daily scoop of porridge, often spoiled, leaving 80% of women malnourished, per a 2012 UCT study. Gangs ruled the female section. NAMSA saw the 28s gang, part of the numbers gangs, beat women over food disputes. A 2016 Mail and Guardian report described kitchen ladies, inmates controlling food, trading it for tobacco or favors. Wardens, present less than 2/3 of the day, ignored violence or hit women's fingers with broomsticks, a punishment called toppers. Medical care was rare. NAMSA's friend, sick with scabies, nearly died without treatment, per a 2015 Sanka Gender Justice report. About 50 infants under 2 lived in the cells, per a 2024 Parent 24 article facing the same filth and hunger. NAMSA said, gangs decide if you eat or sleep. Some programs, like the 2013 Peace Education Program, helped 56 women, but change was slow. Ever faced a place where fear rules? Comment yes below. Zambia's next prison reveals a brutality that will shock you. Keep watching to uncover its horrors. Number 3. Cobwe Female Maximum Correctional Facility, Zambia. In 2016, Esther, a 24-year-old arrested for theft, stepped into Cobwe Female Maximum Correctional Facility in Zambia's central province. Built in 1950 for 150 women, the prison held 250 by 2014 per a health system study. Esther's cell, a 10-square-meter room, packed 15 women, leaving no space to lie down flat. Rats scurried over sleeping bodies, spreading infections like scabies, noted in a 2011 Human Rights Watch report. Toilets were broken, buckets overflowed, and clean water was rationed to 1 cup daily. Food was a 200-gram scoop of maize meal, often moldy, causing 70% of inmates to suffer malnutrition, per a 2016 study. Guards were relentless. Esther saw a woman beaten for asking for soap, her cries ignored. A 2016 International Journal for Equity in Health report found 60% of female inmates faced officer-led abuse, including slaps and verbal insults. Medical care was a myth. Esther's cellmate, coughing blood from tuberculosis, got no treatment. TB rates in Zambian prisons were 2.7% for women, double the national average per a 2011 study. About 10 infants lived in the cells, per a 2018 Zambia Daily Mail report, eating the same scarce food. Esther's daughter, aged 1, clung to her in the filth. Despite a 2013 health program by the Center for Infectious Disease Research, only 1 nurse served the facility. Esther said, "It's a place where you pray to survive." Ever faced cruelty that broke you? Comment yes below. But South Sudan's next prison holds a crisis that will grip your heart. Stay tuned for a story of despair you won't forget. Number 2. Juba Central Women's Prison, South Sudan. In 2019, Nyakuath, a 19-year-old vendor, was arrested for stealing bread and sent to Juba Central Women's Prison in South Sudan's capital. Built in 1948 for 400 inmates, the prison held 2,100 by 2021, including 150 women and 56 children, per a City Review report. Nyakuath's cell, a 12-square-meter space, crammed 70 women, their bodies squeezed together on a dirt floor. Toilets were buckets, overflowing with waste, and clean water was limited to 1 liter daily, causing infections like scabies, noted in a 2012 Human Rights Watch report. Food was a daily 200-gram portion of beans, often rotten, leaving 75% of inmates malnourished, per a 2015 health survey. Abuse was rampant. Nyakuath saw guards whip women for requesting more food, and a 2012 NBC News report described inmates chained for days. Medical care was non-existent. A woman miscarried in her cell without help, per a UNODC report. About 60% of women, including Nyakuath, were pre-trial, waiting years due to slow courts, per a 2021 City Review article. Children, like Nyakuath's 1-year-old son, lived in the cells, facing hunger and disease with no access to schooling, per a 2019 Morning Tears report. Nyakuath said, "My baby cries, but no one cares." A 2019 UNDP vocational program trained 30 women in sewing, but it didn't ease the daily struggle. Ever felt like hope is gone? Comment yes below the Congo's top prison awaits, where a deadly riot will leave you stunned. Watch to uncover the chaos. Number 1, Makala Central Prison, Female Wing, Democratic Republic of Congo. In 2024, Chantal, a 23-year-old seamstress, was jailed in Makala, Central Prison's female wing in Kinshasa, for a minor theft. Built in 1957 for 1,500 inmates, Makala held 15,000 by 2024, with 348 women per AUN report. Chantal's cell, a 20-square-meter space, packed 80 women, their bodies pressed on a concrete floor swarming with roaches. Toilets were broken, buckets overflowed, spreading infections like cholera, noted in a 2020 BBC report. Food was a daily 150-gram scoop of maize, often moldy, causing 80% of inmates to suffer malnutrition, per a 2015 study. In 2020, 17 inmates starved to death, per Human Rights Watch. On September 2, 2024, a jailbreak attempt turned deadly. Youth gang members using stolen tools broke through walls during a power outage, sparking chaos. Guards fired bullets, killing 24, while 105 died in a stampede. A UN report found 268 women, 77% of the female wing, were raped during the frenzy, including 17 girls under 19. Chantal hid, but her friend was assaulted. No counseling followed, and the prison's hospital was destroyed, leaving no medical care. A 2024 Reuters report noted 59 injuries, with 90% of inmates pre-trial stuck in a broken legal system. Chantal said, "It's not a prison, it's death." Ever felt fear that haunts you? Comment yes below. We've reached the end of this video. If it shocked you, like and subscribe for more stories. Comment your thoughts below and join us for the next reveal.